What's up, guys? Taylor here with Hope Public Adjusters. We wanted to provide a quick little training session on coinsurance penalties. We've talked about these in the past, and we did have several of you reach out wanting to learn a little bit more about them and how they directly affect commercial loss claims. So we wanted to just give a little bit more in-depth information on what coinsurance penalties are, how they're applied, and what you guys can look for. So just to start off, a coinsurance penalty is a penalty that's imposed on the insured by the insurance carrier for underreporting or underinsuring the value of the property. The penalty is based on a percentage stated within the policy in the amount underreported. So this becomes a percentage decrease applied to the claim settlement payout after a loss. So in other words, this is a penalty that's applied when the property is underinsured due to what the coinsurance clause is within the policy. So just looking at an example here to put this in number form, let's say a commercial property had an actual replacement value of $1 million, and within their policy they had an 80% coinsurance clause listed. So this means that 80% of that $1 million valuation needs to be insured in order not to get hit with that clause. So let's say, for example, that only $500,000 was insured on the property. Obviously, this isn't 80% of the value, so a coinsurance penalty would be applied in the event of a loss to this specific property. So let's just look at a claim we recently handled and were able to overturn a misapplied coinsurance penalty applied by the carrier. So this was for our client that had a commercial property and their roof system had sustained damages due to storm damage. So we actually received an ITV or evaluation report from the carrier in which they misapplied the functional age of the building, which in turn increased the actual cash value assessment of the building and ended up skewing the valuation of the property performed by the carrier. So in our argument and what we were able to do, we actually pulled a valuation report of our own to be able to negate their previous report and determine why they ended up misapplying it. So in our report, the difference between our report and theirs was the depreciation factor and the year built. So this is sections of the letter we sent off to the insurance company with our argument for them misapplying the coinsurance penalty. So we mentioned in here that our report showed a true number of 38 years as a depreciation factor, 60% within that report. And the building was constructed in 1983, not 1985, which the carrier's previous report stated. So their insurance company only used a depreciation factor of 15 years, 24%, which in turn elevates the ACV value of the building, which is why they were trying to enforce that coinsurance penalty. So our argument was that they needed to amend his cost evaluation to reflect the appropriate age of the building to be able to provide for a proper depreciation factor and in turn a more accurate value of the building. So this was our main argument, was that the functional age of the building was incorrect from their previous report, and in turn they misapplied the coinsurance penalty. So all in all, our report and our findings stated that the ACV value of the property was $311,000, $482, which would put them well within the 80% coinsurance clause. Therefore, no penalty should be applied. So this just goes to show you to make sure you do your due diligence. We pulled a report just to make sure that they weren't misapplying this coinsurance penalty, and in this case they did. So really digging deep, pulling the right information, and making sure that just because an insurance company says something doesn't necessarily mean it's correct. So we did our due diligence here, pulled our own report, and were able to negate the wrongly applied coinsurance penalty. So if you guys have any claims that you have questions on regarding coinsurance penalties, make sure you reach out to us. You can message us in our DMs or comment below this video. You can also give us a call at 833-31-CLAIM, and we're happy to help.